The government has revealed its preferred route for a high-speed rail link between London and Birmingham, slashing the journey time to just 49 minutes. The line would run westwards from Euston in London. It wouldn't take in Heathrow Airport, but there would be a connection in West London. In Buckinghamshire, it would go through Chalfont St Giles in tunnel form and pass by Great Missenden. It would go through part of the Chiltern Hills, an area of natural beauty, before passing Brackley in Northamptonshire. It would end in Birmingham city centre. But the ambition is for it to continue to Leeds and Manchester. Our economics correspondent Faisal Islam reports.
Stevenson, Brunel and now Adonis. The Transport Secretary feted in the House of Lords today was being mentioned in the same breath as the original Victorian railway pioneers, for finally coming up with a plan to deliver the country a high-speed rail network.
It's important that capacity is 21st century capacity and not just a replica of the Victorian railway lines we had in the past. With much faster journey times, we'll also bring more economic growth. We'll be able to distribute wealth more evenly across the country, and we'll give travellers a much more pleasant travelling experience as well.
This is High Speed 1, the 149-mile-per-hour commuter train connecting London and Kent. Now High Speed 2 will connect London with Birmingham and then on to Leeds and Manchester at 250 miles per hour. Decades of equivocation over high-speed rail has left Britain the laughing rolling stock, if you like, of Europe. This train is the only sliver of high-speed network within the UK, and it's a byproduct of the Channel Tunnel rail link. Today's plan from the government would see a Y-shaped extensive network covering England, but there are numerous hurdles. Who's going to pay for it, key planning decisions, and the small matter of an election. The proposed line would run from a rebuilt Euston in London, possibly via Heathrow, as the opposition prefers. It certainly will cut through areas of outstanding beauty, such as Milton's Chalfont St Giles in Buckinghamshire, Amersham, and through part of the Chiltern Hills, before going on to Birmingham. So the peace and quiet of some tranquil Tory shires stands to be violently disturbed for a national grand projet, whose benefits will go disproportionately to young northerners.
This is a beautiful part of the country, and you can't have high-speed rail coming through this. You know, this is a quiet village.
Well, this is a true blue area anyway, so it's a done deal as far as votes for Conservatives here are.
So close to an election, it's perhaps unsurprising that the Conservatives won't accept Labour's route map, but the Shadow Transport Secretary said she was even more in favour of high-speed rail than the government.
Well, the Conservatives are the party that championed high-speed rail when this government had dismissed it as an option for the next 30 years. We believe that it's vitally important to build a national high-speed rail network, and we believe that we need to go faster and further than the government's plans for Birmingham announced today. We think that they should match our commitment to take high-speed rail to Leeds and Manchester as part of the first stage.
Certainly, despite the enthusiasm of the current Transport Secretary, his predecessors repeatedly buried proposals for high-speed rail, preferring London commuter projects like Crossrail. Lord Adonis says this project has to wait until after Crossrail in 2017. The opposition disagree, saying it can start 2 years earlier, despite their lack of route. Neither party are offering any substantial funding for the project during the next Parliament.
5 British soldiers' bodies have been repatriated back to Britain. They were all killed in separate incidents in Afghanistan last week. Corporal Richard Green, Rifleman Jonathan Allett and Liam Mohan were all of 3 rifles. Corporal Stephen Thompson served with 1 rifle, and Lance Corporal Thomas Keogh was a member of 4 rifles. Their coffins were brought into RAF Lyneham, where a private service was held inside the base chapel. Tributes were then paid to the 5 men as they were taken through the nearby town of Wootton Bassett. Since 2001, 272 UK military personnel have been killed in Afghanistan. The markets now, and at the close, the index of 100 leading shares was down 23 points. A short time ago, the pound was up against the dollar by just over half a cent, and sterling was up against the euro by just over 1/3 of a cent. After the break, the Bosnian president demands the Foreign Secretary launches an investigation into what he calls the mistreatment in prison of the former Bosnian Vice President, Eyüp Ganic, since his arrest at Heathrow 10 days ago.